Hi everyone, my name is Emily and we are going to be talking about left brain versus right brain today. So the topic of discussion is a neuromyth. If you don't know, a neuromyth is a common misconception or like misinformation about how the brain works. So the reason why like left brain versus right brain is a neuromyth is because your brain works as a whole, right? So the left hemisphere and the right hemisphere each have specific functions on their respectful sides of the brain, but you don't just use one side of your brain always. And just because you are more artistic or you are more analytical or you're more logical in some ways doesn't mean that you are right brain or left brain. So the origin of this neuromyth starts with scientist Roger W. Sperry, and he did research on split brain patients. So split brain, you split the brain, and he went on to win a Nobel Prize for his discoveries on the different functions of different parts of the brain. His studies demonstrated that both the left and right brain are responsible for different tasks, and that the left side is majorly responsible for language and speaks better than the right side, while the right half takes care of emotions and creativity. For example, while the left part of the brain is responsible for the production of speech, the right hemisphere is responsible for adding emotion to the production of this speech, right? So I think we can all come to the same conclusion that tone means a lot more than we make it out to be. So for example, texting, right? When you're texting someone, sometimes the message can be misunderstood or misconstrued because you can't hear the tone of voice that the person that you're texting is saying the message in. So in this way, both sides of the brain are equally important, and as more and more research develops, we have become way more aware of the intermixing of both hemispheres. The intricacy of the brain cannot be diluted into right or left brain. Instead, we should see the brain as a system that works only when we have both joint forces. This right brain versus left brain misconception is something we have all fallen under the influence of, and we often identify people who are left-brained as being like more analytical and more logical, and we often identify people who are right-brained as people who are more creative, people who like to just like go with the flow. And this misconception has been so widely spread because of things like personality quizzes, or if you're like me, Buzzfeed quizzes specifically, kind of like these. A lot of people still believe that the left versus right brain is an accurate depiction of the kind of person you are. And so like even today, if you look up right brain versus left brain on the internet, you'll see lots of articles and lots of tests kind of trying to engage you and see what kind of person you are. But by doing this, we are limiting ourselves into believing that we can only be one type of person based on a few questions on a Buzzfeed quiz. Some ways you can counter this neuromyth would just be if you are more analytical or more logical, you like to have things very like set and straight, could be taking up a few hobbies, just kind of like coloring or painting, and just seeing how, or color by number, I mean, you know.